Good morning, everyone. Crap, I didn't even have my mic set up right. Hold on a minute. Good morning, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's staying warm this morning. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me look at the live chat. And guys, if y'all was to lose me on the live stream this morning, it's my laptop. I've got it back up running, but any little nudge from it and it cuts off. I'm going to take it to the guy at the shopping center and fix. Hey, Matt. Good morning, Melanie, Shay, Wayne. It's Crying Shame. Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing? Is it chilly where you're at? It's, let me see, 46 degrees out here this morning. I hope and pray, y'all, that we can have our Halloween live stream out here and it's not too cold because, of course, we're going to do it at night. I don't really want to do it inside because I've done got the background set up and everything. And just remind y'all, Halloween night, I'll be doing card reading. I'm only going to pull, like, you can ask a question. I'll pull one card for you because I'm not that good at it. I mean, I'm all right at it, but like maybe ask like a yes or no question. I think that'll be fun. Anyways, we got some true crime news going on this morning. So one of Gabby's friends came out and said that Gabby and Brian did not live at the Laundrie home. That they lived in a condo that the parents paid for. Thank God I can screen share. We're going to get into all that. And also, we got a missing persons case. Little boy's not been seen in 6 months. His name is Elijah Lewis. I think they're from New Hampshire, if I'm not mistaken. But his mom and her boyfriend were just cuffed and stuffed. I'm going to be reading to y'all about that. Cece, I'm so excited today. I tried for the first time and got a chickadee to land and eat out of my hand. Holy smokes, I cried. Did you really? You need to get that on video. And here I was all excited because I rescued a dove. It's cooler what you did because it actually came to you and ate out of your hand. Hey, Charlene, good morning. Okay, let me get to my screen sharing here. Y'all, I forgot how to live stream. I've not been doing it. Okay. I'm going to have to take it off this sweatshirt, too. The sweat jacket. I can't handle it. My granny always says, you're going to get pneumonia. But I can't stand it, even if it's chilly. Okay. A woman who says she was good friends with Gabby claims it's just not true that Gabby and fiance Brian Laundrie were living at his parents' home in Northport, Florida before their road trip. Rose Davis, who says she was a longtime friend of Gabby's, said Saturday during a TikTok live session that Gabby and Brian actually lived together in a condo paid for by Laundrie's parents. The claim has not been independently verified or confirmed publicly by authorities. It is not clear where the alleged condo was located. She did not live with the Laundrie parents, Davis said during the live session, according to The Sun. They had a condo that the parents paid for. Davis described how difficult it has been to remember her time hanging out at the condo with Gabby and Brian before they embarked on a cross-country road trip. Hey, I believe this young lady. Why would she come out and lie about this? Which I know people lie about less, but, you know, it can be debunked, like, really quick. I'd say they did have their own condo. Okay. The couple had been traveling in a camper van throughout the western United States, but Laundrie returned to Florida on September 1st, parking the van at his parents' house. He subsequently refused to talk with police about Gabby. I want to know if they really had a condo. I'd say they did. On September 17th, Laundrie's parents told authorities they had not seen their son for days after they claimed he told them he went hiking at a nearby preserve. 2 days later, police found Gabby's body in the Bridger Teton National Forest in Wyoming. She died from strangulation and had been deceased for several weeks before being located, according to the autopsy. Look at that weirdo. He looks just like Chris Watts, oh ugly thing. Meanwhile, Laundrie, a person of interest in Gabby's death has not been seen for more than a month. I think I heard yesterday they've been searching for him for like 5 weeks. Davis said during the live session that she had been planning to meet the couple during their travels at some point and had been expected to speak with Gabby on Davis's birthday, August 29th. We made plans for after my birthday to go to Yellowstone, but when you're living van life, you can't always have a set plan, Davis said during the live session. So she was going to call me on my birthday, but she did not call me on my birthday. Davis explained that she was initially not concerned about the missed phone call, assuming that things do not always go as planned on a road trip. Davis added that she could not publicly share much else about the case, but is confident the FBI is doing their job. Anyone with information on Dirty Laundrie's whereabouts should contact the FBI, tips.fbi.gov, or call 1-800-CALL-FBI or 303-629-7171. Upload photos and videos to fbi.gov/Petito. Oh, yeah. Like if you think you see Brian Laundrie out, do not approach him. Just snap a photo, call 911, or upload it there. Now, a private investigator believes that Brian may be responsible. Hey, Remy and everybody. Responsible for the 2 young ladies that were murdered nearby where Gabby was found. Let's see. Let me find it here. Right here. I could never pronounce these young ladies' names correctly. Hey, it's possible. He was spiraling, y'all. I mean, hell, he's going off on people that works in the restaurants and, cutting a big hissy fit in front of people. That shows that he was spiraling. What the heck is a van life? I don't know if these millennials come up with anything. When is being a YouTuber an aspiration? Well, the van life is they just fix the back of the van up so that you can live in it and just drive it around. That's what they do. Actually, yesterday I saw this girl. She goes to college. She redone a school bus, and y'all should see the inside of that school bus. It is awesome. She lives with her dog. I thought they caught an escaped prisoner charged with sex crimes. Where at? Oh, about the 2 young ladies that's missing? Let's look at this. I didn't get to read all this morning, of course, because I've been doing like a million things. Been trying to figure out something about my chicken. She's molting, she's bald, and the other chickens are picking on her. Okay. Private investigator says Brian Laundrie can't be ruled out in Moab double murder. Now, I follow one of these young ladies' family members on TikTok. That's how I first learned about their murders. I think it's from a cousin. Private investigator thinks a closer look should be taken to see if there's a connection between Gabby's death and the deaths of a couple camping in August in Moab, Utah. Investigators found the bodies of Crystal Turner, 38, Kylan Schultz, 24, who were fatally shot at a campsite in Moab. Police have not yet named any suspects in the double homicide and said investigators haven't found a connection between the death of the 2 women and Gabby. Schultz and Turner, also known as Crystal Beck, were last seen on August 13th when they left Woody's Tavern in Moab. A family member said on social media that the couple had called them Saturday night saying they needed to change campsites because of a weirdo camping near them that was freaking out. Hey, that could have been Brian Laundrie. We don't know. What would have been his motive for murdering them? Who knows? Does a weirdo really need a motive? No. Schultz worked at the organic co-op Moonflower at the time of her death. Both Gabby and Brian had been at the Moonflower during their trip through Moab on August 12th. The pair got into an argument at the establishment, which ended with Moab officers pulling their white van over and separating them overnight. Who's to say that they really separated that night? After the police were out of the way, he could have called her to come and get him. Grand County Sheriff Stephen White ultimately confirmed in a statement that Gabby's case is not related to the double homicides. Well, how do they know that? Okay, let's just listen to this.
if Gabby's death is in any way connected to the deaths of a newlywed couple
whose
bodies were found in Utah. Police have said no, but not everybody is convinced. Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner were found dead at a popular tourist destination near
Excuse me,
Arches
it's pronounced
National Park.
Schulte.
That's near Moab, Utah on August 18th. The last time that this couple was seen alive was August 13th. That happens to match a similar time frame that Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie were in Moab. Another coincidence, Kylan worked at the co-op where Gabby and Brian reportedly had gotten into an argument. A couple of things crossing paths here. Well, then there's this, a strange phone call from Kylan and Crystal saying that they had moved their campsite because of a creepy man nearby. Again, police have come out and they have said on numerous occasions that these cases are not connected. But there's a private investigator that's taking a second look. Jason Jensen is joining us live tonight. We appreciate your time. I think a lot of people had these same questions. There's just too many coincidences here. So let's start with this creepy man. This couple moves their campsite because they saw this man. What have you learned and been able to uncover about who this was and how they're connected?
Sure, I appreciate you having me on. In light of all the circumstances that you just described, yeah, I mean, it leads a curious, reasonable mind to wonder if these two cases are connected. The problem is, though, from an investigative standpoint, is we don't know where Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito were between the 13th and the 14th or 15th, which is actually the time frame we believe that Kylan and Crystal were murdered, which would be, you indicated the last time they were seen was the 13th, which actually was nearly midnight of the 13th, so almost the 14th. And at that point, they were leaving a friend's house to go back to their camp. And at that point, they hadn't been heard and were a no-call, no-show for work at 5:30 in the morning on the 15th, which was Sunday. So all of Saturday's in play that this could have happened to them. And what I would expect to happen in light of the police encounter that Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie encountered on the 12th, that they were separated to be apart till the 13th, the next morning. So most people would probably pack up, Gabby would drive over to the Bowen Motel, pick up Brian, and they would leave town. So unless there's some kind of evidence to show that they were actually still in town on the 14th, I would expect they took off and were somewhere else in Utah.
The timeline of all this, Jason, starts to get really complicated and trying to match up all of these dates. I want to focus on this creepy man that they called about. Has anybody else witnessed that behavior, saw that man? What have you been able to uncover?
That's really who we're looking for. I mean, really, at the time of all of this, he was still their neighbor at this campsite, and they got a bad vibe from this guy. So we wonder who this guy is, and I don't think that there's a coincidence that somebody else is the murderer. I think it's really this creepy guy because they got bad vibes. And if you know anything about Kylan and Crystal, they were very down-to-earth people. They were not debutantes that somebody, would be beneath them. So it would take a lot for this guy to be creepy in their eyes.
Did they describe him? I mean, other than being creepy, a description of what he looked like?
I wish they had. I wish they would have took a picture of the car, described the guy, got a license plate number. In fact, my advice as a lesson learned from all this, if you think somebody's creepy and your life's in danger, document it some way. You're texting that, hey, we might have to move. This guy came back with more clothes and food, but why would you not, convey something more specific that could help if you thought your life was at risk?
Take a picture, right? We've all got our cell phones.
Well, they probably didn't think, anything bad would happen.
Kylan, unfortunate, tragic, but that they are not connected to Gabby Petito's death or the search for Brian Laundrie. What is it particularly that you think there may be some connection that keeps having you come back to this one point?
Well, anyone that's been following the case knows that Kylan's father, Sean Paul, was at Moab for a whole month after the murder, and he opened in the park what he called the clue booth, and people from all around the community was bringing information to him about, this guy's been acting weird, this guy's strange, you might want to have police look at this guy, and so forth. So he amassed a large list of potential persons of interest, and one of them we can't help but add to the list, which is Brian Laundrie, because until we can prove he was out of the area, in light of all of these circumstances that you outlined, of course, he has to be considered until he's adequately ruled out.
So you have 25 years experience as a private investigator. You took on this case pro bono because you were interested in it. You had a lot of questions that the public has about Crystal and Kylan's death. And you have put together a list of people you think could be suspects. And what you're telling me is Brian Laundrie is currently on your list based on what you have uncovered so far.
Right, including the fact that, given the fact that when they describe this guy as a creepy guy, they're not saying his name. So it's somebody that they're completely unfamiliar with. Obviously, somebody like a Brian Laundrie that's from out of town, they don't know who he is, so they don't know who to say is bothering them. So if it was somebody that they worked with or somebody that, they were neighbors with, they'd say, hey, Bob is bothering us, we're going to move or something. So clearly this is somebody that was giving them bad vibes that they were unfamiliar with that creeped them out. So clearly somebody that was.
I just think it's really, really strange. He killed Gabby out there. These two young ladies were killed. Now, Detective Kenda says there's no such thing as coincidences when it comes to true crime. Of course, this could be a coincidence. It could have been like an ex-lover that was mad because they got married and come and shot him. Who knows? Here's a known connection. Moonflower Cafe. Yeah, there is a connection. Yeah, Gabby and Brian were at the Moonflower. That one of those girls worked at the Moonflower. It's a big, big coincidence, if you ask me. Now, what else? I saw something about Brian Laundrie's dad is being sued. Let me get my article here. I think I saved it in a private chat. He is being sued because he took down some signs that people had put up for Gabby. Hold on, let me find it. Maybe I didn't save it. Let me just scroll. I'll find it real quick. Let's see. Okay, Brian Laundrie's dad sued for stealing sign not in his yard. Can y'all believe this? Why is he going to other people's yards taking down the signs? If he wants to take them down in his own yard, more power to him. I think it's kind of crappy to do that. Well, it's real crappy to do that. But why go to other people's yards and take down the signs? You don't want to look at Gabby's face? What is it? The father of Florida fugitive, Brian Laundrie, has been sued. Plaintiff Andra Griffin filed a lawsuit against Christopher Laundrie at the Northport, Florida court after he allegedly removed a sign that was placed near his home on October 15th. Court documents indicate that Laundrie walked out of his home, took the sign down, and walked back inside. The sign in question read, "What if it was Cassie?" referencing Brian Laundrie's older sister after Gabby, who was found dead last month in Wyoming. Griffin is seeking $40 in damages and alleged the sign was placed in the neighborhood as part of a peaceful protest. Christopher Laundrie is due in court on September 1st for a pretrial hearing. Let's see. Let's watch this, see what this says. Is that him? Well, that didn't show anything. Let me go back. Got something in his hand, I think. Okay, let's see what else it says. Da, 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 da. That's it. Just they issued a warrant for Brian Laundrie's arrest for using the credit card. I can't believe someone actually took him to court for $40. $40. Griffin is seeking $40 in damages and alleged the sign was placed in the neighborhood as part of a peaceful protest. Okay, so the Laundries need to realize by doing things like this, it looks really bad on them. I mean, it looks bad enough on them. They look like they're the damn Watts family. They wouldn't answer Gabby's mom's text when she was first looking for Gabby. They won't talk to reporters. They won't say anything. And then they go outside and jerk freaking signs down. They look like a bunch of assholes is what they look like. Now, Gabby's mom, they did an interview with 60 Minutes Australia, and Gabby's mom says that she wants him locked up, cuffed, stuffed, booked, and cooked for the rest of his life. And they also say, turn yourself in, coward. The bullhorn guy, Jonathan, I believe, is that the guy that's suing him? Let me get to my live chat here, catch up and see what y'all are saying. What do y'all think about all this? Suing for $40? Wouldn't it cost more than $40, like, to file a lawsuit and all that, guys? I mean, like, I've never sued anybody, so I'm not sure, like, how you do it. Crime shame, booked and cooked. Yes, they want him cuffed, stuffed, booked and cooked. If he's still alive. If he's still alive. I just don't see how he's made it for 5 weeks out in the wilderness, allegedly in the wilderness. If he's even in the wilderness. A lot of people think he's hiding somewhere. He's all nice and comfortable. He's not wading the swamps, fighting alligators and snakes. But it's MGL, the one suing for the sign. No, it's not her suing for the sign. No, it's if she don't quit going on to their property, she's going to get arrested. She may not be worried about getting arrested for trespassing, but she can be arrested for that. I mean, you can protest, but you're supposed to be like out on the sidewalk. You're not supposed to go up to their doors, knocking on the doors, putting up signs and all that, you know. Andra, yes, that was the name. Andra was the name of the lady that's suing Christopher Laundrie for $40. She's probably just doing this like to make a point. It's not about the $40. No, she's the one acting like a jackass. Yeah, you can't be going, look, if you're going to protest, go do it for the right reasons. Don't do it for views on YouTube and stuff. It's ridiculous. And actually, protesting out there is not going to do any good. It's pretty obvious that the family just don't give an F, and they're not going to speak to anyone. I don't care how long people stand out there on their stupid bullhorns, disturbing the whole neighborhood. Those 2 birds are not going to come out and say anything. They're just pissing them off more. You know, I thought, like, maybe if the protesters hadn't went there to begin with, maybe they might have came out and, like, gave a statement, but who knows? I kind of think not. I kind of think they wouldn't have anyways gave a statement. They just remind me of Ronnie and Cindy Watts so much. So much. I just don't know how they live with themselves like this. You know, how did they ignore Gabby's mom's pleas trying to find her daughter through text and phone calls and stuff? I mean, this young lady lived with them or was a part of their family. According to the friend, they actually lived in a condo by themselves. I like for that to be verified. Maybe they have slipped up doing something. Yeah. Look, if they're helping their son, the FBI is going to find out. They probably already know if they've been doing it, and they will be charged for aiding and abetting a fugitive. Lying to police. It's a spectacle, CC, just like the watch. Yeah, I never thought, I don't know why I never thought this, but I never thought there would be another case like the Watts that was getting this much attention. But yeah, here we are. And, I'm glad Gabby's case is getting attention to bring, awareness to domestic violence. Sometimes people that's being abused, they suffer in silence. For one, you don't want anyone to know because you're embarrassed of it. Two, you don't want your friends and family to know because then they're going to turn on your partner. So and sometimes in your head you'll think, well, maybe I shouldn't have said this, or maybe I started it, and if I hadn't did this or that, he wouldn't have hit me. I'm telling you, when you're being abused, it's like a battle inside of your own mind. Effing heartless. They went out, had a good time camping, ignoring the phone. Let me tell you what they did. They went out camping so they could figure out what was going on and make a plan for Brian. Guarantee it. Now, Cassie, his sister, said they didn't talk about Gabby on that camping trip. Bullcrap. You know good and well they was like, where's Gabby? She's always there, right? You know they was. That just, and then I thought to myself, maybe they went on that camping trip with him because that's the last camping trip they knew they'd ever probably take with him because they knew he killed Gabby. His parents, when he got back without her, was like grilling him. Where's she at? Where's she at, son? Where's she at? I'm just wondering if he ever told them the truth before he disappeared. Or if he said something like, oh, she took off, met someone and took off, and I don't know where she's at. He took pics of himself, his family smiling, etc. What's weird is the campsite was reserved for 3. They knew Gabby wasn't coming. Yeah. It's a crime scene. Yeah, I agree. I think she knew too, CC. She knew not to talk about it in front of the kids. Yeah. They may not have told sister all the details, but definitely went to chat about what happened. Yeah. They may not have told her all the details, but they was definitely there chatting about Gabby. They didn't spend the whole time at that campsite and not mention her. I'd just love to have been a fly on the wall when he was talking to his parents about Gabby. I think he told them something. Who knows what? But he had her van, which means she'd be out there alone. Doubt she'd let that happen. Exactly. They had to have known something was terribly, terribly wrong. I think it's weird that he flew home to from, where was it? Utah to Florida before Gabby disappeared to help his dad clean out a shed. You can't clean out, he couldn't wait till they got back from the trip. I just think that's like really weird. I reckon his dad paid for the plane ticket, but Lord have mercy. They couldn't wait like a week or two. You got to spend like what, $300 or $400 or more on a plane ticket. I think he went back home. He discarded her, then went back, and maybe she told him, no worries, I don't want you anyway. That would cause a narc to flip. Yeah, let me tell you something. Assholes like that, she was real clingy to him. You could tell that she was clingy to him and wanted attention and stuff from him. I get like that sometimes too. I think it's like you got abandonment issues. Anyways, I think he used that against her. And then maybe she came to her senses and was like, screw you. And then he couldn't handle it. Because I'll tell you what, when you get done with putting up with a narcissist, they can't stand it. They can't stand it that you don't want them anymore, or you don't want to talk to them anymore. And they'll do anything in their power to try to get you back. And if that don't work, they freaking snap on you. Flip out. When they lose control, like Fotis Dulos. He lost control of Jennifer. He killed her. Then he was charged for murder. His life was spiraling, and he was a control freak. So to take back that control, he took himself out. He committed suicide. I heard a professional say that. This is the way their minds work. They used Gabby's card for his flight. That's why the lawyer is downplaying the warrant, saying it was their money. Well, you know what? It's like me and Mark. Like if I go use his debit card, I could get in trouble because my name's not on it, even though we live together. You know, he shouldn't have been using her card. It's like he murdered her and then he robbed her. Yeah, I get it was like their money because like they lived together and all that. But you know, all that went out the window when he strangled her to death. That's right, Cece. Jesus, I once told my ex a similar thing. Go F yourself. He nearly broke my freaking door down trying to get to me. Yeah. Or if they think you've got somebody new, that's very dangerous right there. When, like, if you cheat on a narcissist or to even break up with them and go out with somebody else, that's very dangerous. They'll flip out on you and freaking strangle you to death, kill you. I've been having the creepiest thing happen, guys. First, I thought it was my friend coming up here. Somebody's been coming up here in a white truck. They come halfway up my driveway. And if Mark's here, they automatically back out. But if I'm here, he just sits there, guys. I swear to God, he just sits there in the middle of my freaking driveway. I'll be standing here on the porch. Mark's like, you need to go ask him what he wants because he's done it like 4 or 5 different times. It's beginning to be like an everyday thing. Mark's like, it's probably some stalker. It's a white truck and it's got this blue light on the top of it. It's not a cop vehicle. Like a blue light, like a rescue or something. I don't know what's going on with it. Hopefully it's not a weirdo. Okay, what else? Let me look at my private chat here. See what else I saved. Oh yeah, we need to talk about this little missing boy real quick, and then I want to tell y'all what happened in Philadelphia on the train. I am so pissed off over it. Hold on a minute. Let me pause this 1 sec. So there's this little missing boy. His name is Elijah Lewis. He has not been seen in 6 months, guys. His mom tried to get friends and family to lie for her and say that they had seen Elijah, but they wouldn't do it.
Months ago in Merrimack, New Hampshire.
Let's go back.
Know what happened to a missing boy in New Hampshire are in police custody. The 5-year-old was last seen 6 months ago in Merrimack, New Hampshire, but he wasn't reported missing until last week. WBZ's Christina Hager's in New Hampshire for us tonight, where police have shifted their focus to some woods near the boy's home.
This is just heartbreaking for us to have something like this go on.
Neighbors watching a mystery unfold. None of them knew 5-year-old Elijah Lewis disappeared 6 months ago with no one reporting him missing. Now his mother and her boyfriend, who had been living in this waterside home in Merrimack, are under arrest.
Both of them were located in New York City yesterday. They were located by New York City Transit Police.
It was the break police were hoping for after they put out a plea for help finding the couple this weekend. Danielle Dauphinais and Joseph Staff facing charges of child endangerment and witness tampering.
Each of them has asked other people to lie about Elijah and his whereabouts, knowing that Child Protective Service workers were trying to find Elijah.
We never saw this little boy, and there's several of us that just are aghast that there was a 5-year-old even living there.
Police now shifting focus from the home to the water behind it to search dogs heading to woods across the street. Neighbors who knew the family say with Staff now in custody, he might be the one to solve the mystery.
He's not the kind of guy he's not an aggressive kind of guy. So at least we'll be able to get some answers on Elijah. And so that's a big relief for the people in this community.
The couple could be back here in New Hampshire to face a judge this week. Meantime, investigators say they just hope this is not a recovery mission. In Merrimack, New Hampshire, Christina Hager, WBZ News.
This reminds me of Evelyn Boswell's case so much. Of course, this little boy has been missing a lot longer than Evelyn was. Evelyn was missing for like 2 or 3 months before anybody reported her missing. And this little boy's been gone for 6 months. I would say they're going to be recovering a body, unfortunately. These pieces of crap. That guy's eyes was bugged out of his head. I guarantee they're meth smokers. CC, call and file a report at least and document times, descriptions, plate, etc. Ask neighbors you trust if they have seen him. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to snap it. Last time I didn't have my phone out here. I was just standing here smoking real quick, and here that weirdo come. Okay, let's see what else we can find about Elijah real quick. Bless his little heart. He's cute as he can be. I guarantee they killed him. Elijah Lewis. That's a common name around here. Let's see. The mother of a 5-year-old New Hampshire boy who hasn't been seen in 6 months and her boyfriend was with her were arrested in New York. The pair arrested on witness tampering and child endangerment charges, but the search for the child continues. Okay. The witness tampering charge alleged that they each asked other people to lie about Elijah and where he was living. Well, hold on, baby. Knowing that Child Protective Service workers were searching for him. So someone had turned them into Child Protective Services for some reason. We're searching for him. The endangerment charge alleges that they violated a duty of care, protection, or support for Elijah. We're trying to find Elijah. Senior Assistant Attorney General Benjamin Agati said Monday. We're hoping to find him in good condition, but I would be less than honest if I didn't say that the chances of that are not looking great at this point. Let's pray that they handed him off to somebody and that he is safe and sound and not being abused. Let's look at these two weirdos' pictures again. I'd say that the outcome of this is not going to be good, guys. I just have a feeling. They're asking people, they ask people to lie about his disappearance and stuff. Something's terribly, terribly wrong. Let's see. Open the image, a new tab. Let's see if we can do that. I'm going to look at up close to their eyes. Let me re-screen share. Because this dude looks like he's on meth. I bet you they're a bunch of junkies. I know people don't like that word, but truth's truth. Look at that. Bugged out of his head. Her eyes look like Charles Manson. She got Manson eyes. Look how dark they are, guys. She don't even look like she's got a freaking pupil. Barely see something right there. She's a freaking demon. Anybody whose kid goes missing, been missing, they don't report them missing's a piece of crap and they did something to them. I could bet you my last breath of air. I'd love to get my hands on that bitch. I'd get it out of her where that kid's at. Let's pray that they find little Elijah. I see something that happened in my area. 3 children found living with dog feces covering floors. Gray woman arrested. This is Gray, Tennessee. God, how could anybody leave? I was watching Hoarders the other day, guys, and there's like dog poop everywhere. Like, how can people live in conditions like that? Can't they smell? So there she is. 3 children found living in dog feces. She looks like she's not had a good scrubbing in a while. Good bath. Take her to the car wash, scrub her up. Okay, she's been arrested after 3 small children were found living in deplorable conditions. According to the Washington County, Tennessee Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to an apartment in the 100 block of Old Gray Station Road on Thursday to assist with Department of Children's Services investigation. Police said deputies found 3 small children and conditions in the house were extremely poor. The environment appeared to be a safety hazard to the children living there. Destiny Smith, 24, was charged with 3 counts of child abuse and neglect and was later released on a $30,000 bond. She is due in court on Monday. They shouldn't have let her out anywhere. They should lock her in a cell. Well, first they should load it up with dog poop all the way up to the walls. You got to step on top of it. And they should throw her in that cell. Throw her food on the dog poop and everything and make this bitch eat that way. That's exactly what they should do to her. For doing those children that way. Nasty old bitch. Pure white trash. Pure white trash. Okay, guys. Now, trigger warning. This next thing we're going to discuss, this case, is about rape. There was a woman riding a train in Philadelphia. She was raped. when the train went by dozens of stops, where you let off people, the guy continued to rape this lady, and nobody done a GD thing about it. They pulled out their phones and they videoed this son of a bitch raping her. If I'd have been there, I'd have walked up and I'd have kicked that mother clucker right in the freaking head. And then I wouldn't have wanted to touch his privates, but I'd have wrung it off of him, honey. If I ever caught somebody doing something like that to anybody, I'd be cuffed and stuffed myself. I'd give him freaking brain damage from kicking him. How could you sit there and watch a damn woman being raped and you pull out your phone to film it to put up on social media? Y'all's asses should be cuffed and stuffed. And here is a little son of a bitch, a little pipsqueak. Pennsylvania police arrested a man on Wednesday minutes after he allegedly raped a woman in front of train riders who did not interfere. The Philadelphia Inquirer reported that surveillance footage showed the attack that occurred on SEPTA's Market Frankfurt line. Suspect Fitzton Nagoy, 35, is NGOY, allegedly claimed he knew the victim and the encounter was consensual. But the victim said Fitzton had sat next to her and ignored her request to go away. According to Metro Philly SEPTA spokesperson Andrew Bush, said the victim fought back as Fitzton inappropriately touched her, ripped her clothes off, and raped her. A transit officer stationed at the 69th Street Transportation Center in Upper Darby waited for the train to arrive and arrest Fitzton as he was allegedly committing the act. Hold on, baby. Transit Police Chief Officer Thomas Nestel III said it was an off-duty SEPTA employee who saw the attack and alerted the police. Meanwhile, Upper Darby Police Superintendent Timothy Bernhardt claimed the victim may have been spared from the attack had other train riders intervened. However, he did not say how many bystanders there were. There were other people on the train who witnessed this horrific act, and it may have been stopped sooner if a rider had have called 911, SEPTA said in a statement issued to CNN. Citing authorities, the New York Times reported that Fitzton is homeless. He did not have a weapon during Wednesday's attack. He is facing multiple charges, including rape, sexual assault, aggravated indecent assault. He remains jailed on an $18,000 bail. Can y'all believe that these disgusting, vile people sit there and watch this man rape this woman for I don't know how long? Now, I listened to the news this morning. It said the train went by dozens of stops. He was raping her the whole time. Nobody done anything. No one told him to get off of her. No one tried to get him off of her. They sat there and they filmed that son of a bitch doing that. They need to cut his pecker off. I'm telling you what, this makes me so GD and mad I can't see straight when I heard this on the news. How in the hell? See, in my mind, them mother cluckers about cussed are as guilty as him, in my mind, for sitting there letting that go on. The son of a bitch didn't have a weapon or nothing. Why didn't somebody walk up behind him, grab him up by the hair of the head? I would have walked up to him and kicked him right in the freaking head's what I would have done. I'd have kept on kicking him. No one said a damn word, Remy. No one said nothing until that off-duty transit officer saw it, called 911. They just got off the train as he continued to rape her. Isn't that disgusting? I tell you what, I'd probably go to jail for murder if I seen something like that, guys. I'm telling you, I would just lose it because it just makes me so mad just reading about it and seeing it on TV. It's just unbelievable. Exactly, Art. I said unbelievable. Jinx. Put them all in jail, no joke. I'd be up on a murder charge. Yeah, me too. I'd be up on a murder charge too. Wonder if he had anyone on the train, like people watching his back. I don't know. They say he's homeless. And this weirdo tried to say it's consensual, like this woman's going to have sex in front of everybody on a freaking train. The son of a bitch raped her. He sat down beside of her. He was trying to touch her. She asked him to move, get away from her. And then he ripped her clothes off and he raped her in front of everybody. And they stood there and they filmed it with their GD and phones. Sickos. They need to be charged with something. Don't y'all think, guys? Don't y'all think? I think that's aiding and abetting myself. Right? Are people that big of chicken shits? My rooster's got more courage than them people on that train any day of the week. Hell, my goat does. And when it comes to something like that, I'm going to intervene. I wouldn't be calling 911 until I got that son of a bitch off her. See, there was another incident that happened in New York. A woman waiting on the subway. This man was trying to rape her. Thank God he didn't. He was trying to pull out his private parts and everything. He was on top of her, and nobody did nothing. Finally, somebody, I mean, for like several minutes, there was people standing there filming it. Broad daylight, y'all. Finally, some man got him off top of her. Squidward. I just love your accent. Hang on, baby. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're from Cali. I'm going to visit you. I want to go to California so freaking bad. I want to go to the Max Factor Museum out there and just to do a bunch of different things. Mommy Mara, she's from out that way, and she sent me a picture where they went like this old monastery, and there's like chickens on this old monastery place. It was so cool. He was probably so scared not knowing what was happening. Okay, I'm reading my chat here. I'm behind. Cement shoes. I prevented a rape at a house party once. I kicked the guy as hard as I could off the girl. She didn't want to press charges. Oh, thank goodness you did that. Guys, I went out with this guy one time. We were sitting around talking. I went out with him several times. I know him really well. And he's a good guy. But we were sitting there drinking beer one night. And he told me this story when he was like about 18 or 19. He was at this party. And the next door neighbor had come over there. And the guy had took her back in the bedroom and raped her. And my friend Jimmy told me, he's like, I always regretted not going back there and doing something. And you know what? That was the last night I ever hung out with him after he told me that. I don't know the girl's name or none of that, but I just thought 19 years old or not, you should have known better than that. Screw that. Now, he did say like that really bothered him and all that, but I'm just weird, guys, when it comes to things like that. He should have never told me that because I've never had nothing else to do with him. I never spoke to him again. I ghosted him. That's been about 11 years ago. I know I hurt his feelings. I ghosted him, but I probably didn't handle it right, but I don't know. What would y'all do? I'd been like, I mean, would y'all been like, oh, well, people make mistakes. See, that was me, Remy. That was me. I looked at him totally different. And guys, he's a nice guy. Nice guy, takes care of his kids, all this and that. But yeah, I looked at him different when he told me that. You know, even though it's been like 30 some years later or something, it just changed the way I looked at him. So, anywho, I guess that's all of our true crime for this morning, guys. I want to tell y'all our channel members meeting will be Thursday night. I think Mark will be going to watch football that night with Dee. Dwayne just lost his girlfriend from, I guess, a cirrhosis of the liver. The woman's eyes was completely yellow. So he's been trying to hang out with him like on Monday Night Football, Thursday, and stuff like that. So we're going to do Thursday night, 8 p.m. And we may practice doing tarot readings Thursday night if y'all want to. Ask me a yes or no question. That's what we're going to start out with. Because, you know, I'm okay at reading. I read my own cards, and they're always really, really accurate. But I thought since I'm going to be reading for everybody else on Halloween, we'll just start off with like one card. And we're going to practice Thursday night with it. So think of a question you want to know, a yes or no question, and I will pull a card for y'all Thursday night on the live stream. I'll be on camera and all that good stuff. Anyhow, y'all have a great day. I have got to get going and get out of these pajamas and get some clothes on. I'm going to clean out my chicken coop. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I was distracted with other stuff, trying to get some stuff done. So I got to clean out my chicken coop. I got to shut their window because they have like a little raised window. It's got a screen in it. So I got to shut their window because it's getting cold and all that good stuff. Oh, Tammy, you're so late, Tam Tam. I just want to call you Tam Tam so bad. That's your new nickname, Tammy, Tam Tam. There's your late slip. Hey, everybody have a great day. If I get some time this evening, we may do a porch chat, just according to what's going on. We may not do a porch chat. We may just walk around the yard and look at things and chat. Who knows? Thank goodness for the replay. I know, right? Thank you for joining us, Squidwin. Thank you so much. You have a good day too. Okay, guys, I'm off here. Be safe. Be kind. Peace.